But black people made it to Canada, but Canada was racist. It wasn't slavery, but it was still racist. So black people had to build self-sufficient communities where they had to produce all the things they needed for themselves. And so there's a number. One's the Dawn Settlement, one is Dresden. One of them is where Uncle Tom's Cabin is. Josiah Henson makes it to Uncle Tom is based on a real person named Josiah Henson. And he makes it to Canada and basically sets up a self-sufficient community as a farm. There's a little school there. They're making things out of wood and selling them. So it's a self-sufficient community. This is what they had to do because they were being discriminated against by people in Canada. So they had to create everything for themselves.
Right.
They had to be self-sufficient, grow their own food, produce stuff that they could sell, make money, because you may not get a job.
Right.
You may not get hired. So this is what they did. So even though they got free, that not like the,
partially free.
Right.
More free, but
so Thornton Blackburn and Ruthie started a company. That's how they made it. Had they had to depend on trying to go to work for somebody, their story would have been a lot different.
Right.
Yeah.
But to the indigenous people has always been here, right?
That's right. So yeah, that's right.
They making deals with the French and all that.
Right.
So that's when that French and Indian war come about.
That's right.
Treaties and all that.
On Belle Isle,
So you see,
Right.
that
What?
point on Belle Isle, that part of it's called Point something. They used to cross right over there.
Yeah, there are a number of people who know. I don't know the spot. Know the spot that some black people escaped to Belle Isle and then came from Belle Isle
Right,
to
it's
Canada.
Point.
Yeah, I don't know where that spot
Called
is,
Point
but
something.
Kim Simmons does that tour. I don't know if she still does it, but she used to be the president of the Black Historic Sites Committee.
Okay.
And she now runs something called the Detroit River Project. And I know she's been working on a book for some years. So that kind of, I know she kind of put her tour to the back burner working on the book. But she knows that spot. That's not something I know about, but I do plan on talking to her so I can kind of get more information about it. You can see that Canada has their festival at the same time that Detroit has theirs. And then they do the fireworks, the international fireworks on both of them.
Now, is it true that you're working on a book, or was it a movie, or?
Oh, it's a book. For me, it's a book. Yeah, it's called Black. It's called Black Before Bankruptcy. The most important sites in the building of Black Detroit. So that's what it is.
So
it's not going to be like a chronological history starting from 1701 to 1974. It's going to be particular sites, some of which we've seen today. Particular sites and what happened at those sites and who were the people involved at those particular important historic sites. And so it's a story of places and the people and events involved with those places.
Okay.
And so it'll start.
That sounds really similar to the tour.
Yeah, but it's not going to be just Underground Railroad. That's the difference.
Okay.
It'll be, Underground Railroad will be included, but so will the rebellions and riots, so-called riots. So will the marches for civil rights, and so a lot of other stuff will be in there besides just the Underground Railroad. But the Underground Railroad, the Nation of Islam's founding, all of that will be in there. The Republic of New Africa, Malcolm X giving 3 major speeches in Detroit. Message to the Grassroots, Ballad of the Bullet, and The Last Message, which was done at Hart Plaza at Ford Auditorium, which no longer exists. But he gave that speech 1 week before he was assassinated. So those kind of things, man. Oh, he was in RNA, okay. Wow. So the shootout in New Bethel in '69 was a major part of Detroit history.
The place after my father pulled me out of it.
Wow.
Yes, right there on Cadillac and Mack.
Wow. They did have a place there. That's right. They did. Well, I need to talk to you.
So we look right.
It was run by Labama.
Yeah, that's right. By Chokwe Lumumba. Yeah.
So you have a chapter in his upcoming book.
Provisional Government for the Republic of New Africa. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's good. So that's the count. So it's gonna cover all the way up to 1974. So Coleman Young's election is the end of my book. It could be the beginning of another one, but that's the end of that one.
So when should we look forward to it?
You should be looking forward to it next year.
Next year sometime? Okay.
You're going to put out on your next tour?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
All right. And your next tour would be, is it the Malcolm X bus tour?
Yes, the Malcolm X bus tour is Saturday, a week from tomorrow. We will be meeting at the Myers on 8 Mile in Woodward, the parking lot. It's going to be a bus tour. So we're going to meet there at 6:30 a.m. And then we're going to tour sites in Detroit important to Malcolm. Then we're going to leave Detroit and go to Lansing.
Okay.
Malcolm.
And what's the cost for that tour?
The cost for that tour is $45.
That's including the bus ride?
Including the bus ride and all the tour. Now, of course, we do stop and eat. It does not include that. You have to pay for that.
Or bring your own lunch?
Or bring your own lunch. You can do that too, yeah.
Jamon Jordan.
Thank you.